Yo, this is Mark Edward Bratcher with VCA Church with an honest discussion on no shame. Oh, you mean you're going to talk about not being ashamed? Somewhat, when you hear people say like unashamed, but no, I purposely use the phrase no shame. We're going to talk about work, or maybe lack thereof. You see, some of you might work a minimum wage job, and you feel like with your work history and maybe your age, you feel like you're ashamed because you shouldn't be working something down here. Maybe some of you work some high-end job, but you feel stressed out. You feel like you can't live up to the expectations, and you just feel this shame. For me, I've worked this current job I have in nonprofit for over a year and a few months now. And I've worked in many different places within this job. I have a main department, and in that main department, I filled in for different places. I've worked outside in the heat. I've had to do some heavy lifting. I've had to do many different things. And you know what? There was times when I first started working this job, when they would ask, hey, we're gonna need someone to do this, we're gonna need someone to do that. And it wouldn't sound too fun, and it wouldn't be, that enticing. And I would still be one of the first people, but I'll do it. Right now, I'm filling in a position that I've been filling in for a few months now, and I have a few people that work under me, and we clean this business complex outside. And sometimes we have these tools, and I have to pick up needles. There are times when we have to scoop up feces. There are times where we have to, in the back of these business complex, we have to pick up beer bottles and shards of glass and different things. If you saw me at this place putting on an orange vest, zipping up and watching people work and helping them work, you'd be like, aren't you ashamed? And look at what you're doing. You could be doing so much more. But I have no shame, because the Lord has put me here for a time and reason. And I have no shame because the Bible says, Colossians 3:23-24, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving. There are times where I have to do things that don't seem too fun, where I have to work in some heat. At the time of this recording, just with the last few weeks here in the Coachella Valley, we've had some rain, crazy enough, and I've had to work in the rain. I've had to work in times where it got muddy. I had to work in times where it was really windy. And if you're cleaning outside and doing janitorial type stuff, it's no fun. But every time I've done it with a great attitude. Every time I've worked at it with all my heart. See, I have no shame. Maybe you work a janitor job. Maybe you work a high-end job. Maybe just somewhere in between. I encourage you. You don't have to be ashamed of what you do. Because remember who we work for. We work for the Lord. And if you truly want to live a life with no shame, if you truly want to live a life in your workplace that says, I have no shame, I will do whatever you want me to do, there's one job description, a part of that. And that is, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart. You claim to be a Christian with no shame in the workplace, then give it all you got. I want to end with this. Do you show up late to work? Do you have a bad attitude at work? If there's some dirty job they want you to do, or the worst, ugliest project they want you to work on, or the case no one wants, are you going to complain? Or are you going to say, yeah, I'll do it? Shout out to my bosses, Cammie, Danya, Bonnie. They've been great bosses to me. And I've done everything they've asked me and try to hit a home run every time. So I want to work a job where I say, you know what, I have no shame. I'll do whatever is asked of me. Maybe you have a boss that isn't like that. Maybe they're not as nice. Maybe they're not the friendliest of people. You work unto the Lord. Give it all you got. Because remember, the Lord is the one who gives us our reward. Our boss gives us our check, but the Lord gives us our true reward. So I encourage you, are you working with shame? Or are you working with no shame? With all your heart as unto the Lord? for new content daily and full-length sermons, visit vcachurch.com.